This is one of those videos where I wish it was possible for me to show you what I get to see here, but I don't think it's going to work, so you're going to have to use your imagination. I am sitting here on my front porch in my sand chair, which is where I spend a lot of time, especially my morning quiet time, April to October or November. And starting May until like late September, we have 2 hummingbird feeders on the 2 posts of our front porch. And I set them at about eye height when I'm sitting in my sand chair so I can see the hummingbirds really close and personal. Now, because I'm talking, there's a good chance you're not going to get to see the hummingbirds and see what I see. But this is the time where the hummingbirds are, I think they've just hatched or something, because today, sitting inside, or when I'm sitting here quiet on my porch, I kid you not, there was a time this afternoon where 5 hummingbirds were all feeding at this feeder, and there was another 3 over on this feeder, and there were other ones. It was like O'Hare Airport circling in the air around. And then sometimes they go into Hummer wars and scare each other off. It's quite fascinating and quite amazing to watch. But here's what it has to do with you and me and real abundance. And it might blow your mind. I was Googling a little bit more, learning about hummingbirds, and what I've discovered, several articles, scientific articles, etc., is, so today I said I saw 5 or 6 there and 3 there. So that was like 9 or 10 hummingbirds I saw hovering around our 2 feeders at the same time. Now that's a lot, right? But here's the thing. This scientific research, these articles I read, more than one said that however many hummingbirds you see at one time at your feeders, multiply it by 6, and that's probably how many hummingbirds are in the area and are actually feeding at your feeders. I saw 9 or 10. That's like 54 to 60 hummingbirds in our area going through, regularly feeding at our feeders. Isn't that frickin' amazing? But what it reminded me of, and it's why I wanted to create this video, isn't that how real abundance works? Isn't that what the definition of abundance that I was given years ago in that divine download about? It's the knowing that we're part of something bigger than us in our individual lives and our individual perceptions. So what I could see was 9 to 10 hummingbirds, which felt like abundance, but there was so much more than what I could see with my own eyes. And that's true of real abundance. That's true of all the resources that are available to us. That's true of the something bigger that we're all part of. We can only see so much, but what we can learn to trust in, what we can practice trusting in, what we can develop faith in, what we can begin to embody and know in every cell of our being, is that there's so much more than what we're able to see ourselves. There's so much more to life than what we can see with our own limited perception. There's so much more to this world and this universe we live in than what we can see with our own perception. There's so much more to who we are than what we oftentimes see with our perception, especially our wounded, judgmental perception. Whatever abundance we're experiencing, whatever beauty, whatever resources, whatever gifts we're able to see and practice being grateful for and are blessed by and get to enjoy, there's so much more. There's so much more. Because what's available to us, what supports us, isn't just what we can see. It's what we learn to trust exists. It's what we learn to open ourselves to and participate in. You know, in the sacred archetype of abundance that I talk about as the alternative to the archetype of scarcity, in that knowing that we're part of something bigger than us, and in that something bigger, we have access to all that we need. It's no longer a question of like availability. It's no longer a question of quantity. It's really a question of our ability to trust in it and open ourselves to it and participate in the flow of it, even when we cannot see it. That we trust that whatever we see, there's always something bigger, something more that we're participating in. Here I am filling our hummingbird feeders every day, reveling in 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10 hummingbirds dive bombing all around me. And I think that's great. And there's more. How cool is that? It's about our being able to trust in that the same thing that's true around hummingbirds is true around all things, including the things that we oftentimes only see not enough of, like money or time or energy. When we really can get and trust in, wow, it's bigger than what I can see. It's maybe even bigger than what I can imagine. And I'm not the one who's making it happen. I just get to participate in it by filling my hummingbird feeders, by using my money in these ways, by using my life in this way. I participate in something more, something bigger, something more abundant than what even I can see. Wondering, what about this video? What about this concept? What about these lovely hummingbirds and their story? What really touched you? What opened up your eyes? What excited you? What about this new definition speaks to you? And more importantly, how can you, in little ways, begin to trust in? There's what I can see, and then there's so much more, so that you can just revel in it, enjoy it, keep taking steps, keep participating in it, because we're all part of something bigger than our individual efforts, our individual actions, and most of all, our individual perceptions. Let me know what about this spoke to you. Type it in the comments, put it in the chat. If you're wondering how do I tap into, how do I participate in that flow, in that something bigger? How do I develop this faith and this trust when I can't see it? Then I'd love to connect with you. Just PM me or type in the chat, let's connect, and we'll set up a time when we can talk and we can dive into that and see how we can get you started on that. Have a great day.